I think what we're all trying to get at is there a number? You know, this house is on this house is on a busy street. This house is on a residential street. There's not a number.
Again. Every neighborhood is different. Every street is different. Sometimes living on one side of the street compared to the other side of the street can make a difference, yes?
Sure.
Okay, so the answer is they have to be professionals. They have to do a market analysis. It's not like every 10 by 12 bedroom in the United States is worth $5,000. Is that true? No, of course not. So that's your answer right there. They have to do a lot of work behind the scenes. Are you beginning to see how much time and effort and how much work the appraisers do? You're buying dinner tonight, right?
You're the one with the dollar.
All right. Tried to get dinner. All right. Let's continue on. Let's go to comparable number 3. They have 4.1 bathrooms, so they have more bathrooms than we have. So they took off $8,000 from that property. They make these adjustments. They come up with the values. And I'll show you in a moment how they determine the final value. Let's go down to, it says, I did research the sale transfer history of the property. My research did not reveal any prior sales on the transfer of the property. They got their data source from MLS, Reallist.com. My research did reveal prior, repeat. Let's go down to where it says summary of sales. There are 3 properties, there are 3 pending sales, competitive in size range. It says these indicate an offset. Let's not go into all of that. I want to go.
I have to.
Yes.
So when you were talking about forecasting, this appraiser forecasted. I can see it. You see that number 3 is a short sale. So when you look at number 3, it has sales financing concession, arm's length. Number 3 is a short sale. It's the lower end of the range at 411. And if you see that comp 3 just sold June at 600,000 and they ended up doing a short, got it? Okay? That's a forecasting in the marketplace. That in the statement that he made, there are 3 pending sales that are in a range of 354 to 375. This subject contract is at 430. His final value is at 424.
He was short.
And it was the market. Because he indicated that short sale and he indicated the pending sales. So his value range, he could have made the deal work, quote unquote, but that's not his job because you look at the range at 439,200. Remember the contract price was 430? He came in at that comp 1 at 424, probably because that forecasting is a down market.
Does that answer your question? That's exactly what I was going to say, word for.
I knew it.
Because of the short sale?
And the pending sales. He's forecasting.
What would be helpful to us is, like, to me anyway, is to know, like, how far that can go. I mean,
6 months generally is where you go. They want to do yesterday, whatever. Say that again?
not in terms of the timing, but in terms of, like, the percentage. Do you have a limit based on your forecast?
No.
No, so you can, okay, so that's good to know.
Yep.
Do they need, is there indicated anywhere how much you're factoring in for forecasting?
No.
Like, so that's like where the judgment comes in that makes these feel
What's
like
an appraisal?
What's up?
What's an appraisal? My opinion based on the data.
So that's where I feel like it's a guess. Like, well, are you guessing this is 5% more than in the past? Are you guessing it's 20% more?
It's
I would-
forecast.
I would try not to use the word guess because a guess is, you know, it's very highly educated forecasting.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, if you had 5 appraisers go out to the house, and every single person was coming in, each appraiser was going out to the same house, how close would the numbers be?
Not close at all. Yeah.
On a purchase contract, a lot of times they're going to be very close because they have the contract and they see what's going on. If it's strictly just a refinance,
But if Joe and Mary and Sue
Right.
and Bob go out to
sometimes they could all be the same, sometimes they could fluctuate.
all gonna come in
Yes.
Probably different.
Yes.
Not an exact
That's what drives realtors crazy. If that's
Is that the only thing that drives realtors crazy? Is the appraisers? Same thing with the loan officers. They drive us crazy.
Well,
No.
number one, I'm a realtor. Number one, I'm a realtor.
All right.
Gotta remember,
You guys are very lively. Quiet down for a second.
All about our opinions based upon our experience and our education. That's why it's so important for you to make sure you got a darn competent appraiser coming into your house to appraise it. Amen.
All right. That's right. All right, let's continue on. So, let's go to the last, let's go to the next page. It says at the top of the line, the appraisal document includes an addendum. That's the page I want you to be on. All right, let's go to the third line. It says, the second line, the removal of any pages in this report provided by the appraiser is considered an alteration of this report. They're being very kind by saying it's considered an alteration. What do they mean? It's fraud. You know, back in the day when we used to get these appraisals, if we didn't like the value, we just put white out on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys think those things didn't happen?
Absolutely.
It wasn't me. I just saw people doing those kind of things. No. But today, look, if you go on Adobe Acrobat Reader or whatever and you try to modify this in your court, it's a big problem. Don't do it. Don't do any of that stuff fraudulent. Okay, really. What's that? Say again? That's my job. All right, leave that up to me. No, we don't want to do any of that stuff. All right. It says status as to utilities are on. Status as to appliances, heat and air. 2 or more of the sales were arm's length transaction. So they put a lot of information in here. Would you agree? Let's go to the last page, the back page. Yes, question.
I'm sorry. This is the question.
Why are you apologizing? Ask the question in this class.
All right, goddammit.
Let's go.
So, I'm noticing on this appraisal, the systems and the stuff is listed as functional. But every seller in the world thinks that they have a Viking range, their house is worth $10,000 more than their next door neighbor because that's what the range costs. To what degree does a lot of great stuff boost the appraisal?
So when we go through a property, the best way that I explain it is when I'm going through, I have buckets. And as I'm going through, I have a quality construction bucket, because that's what you're talking about there.
Yep.
I have a condition bucket. For example, if I've got lights in the closet, then, I'm putting that into that bucket. If I've got a remodeled kitchen or a remodeled bathroom, then it's going into that bucket. So as we're going through, we're taking in consideration, number one reason why I want you there. Point those out to me. Now, the range or the refrigerator, that's personal property.
The range would be better on market, but the question is the
Personal
same.
property.
Okay,
What about that great hot tub?
yeah.
built in.
But it can be moved.
All right, we're coming up on the home stretch here.
Thank you.
Last question. I want to finish this up. Go.
Real quick. So I had a property that was under contract, the appraisal was done. Obviously, I was the listing agent. Contract fell apart, it was FHA financing. So I asked for the appraisal, gave me the number of what it appraised at, but not the report. Because it's FHA, it's relisted now, so if somebody else goes to buy it FHA, that appraisal applies.
Up to 6 months. We have to release it.
The FHA, sorry.
It's okay.
The FHA guidelines now say the appraisal report attaches for 120 days. However, you are now permitted to have 2 appraisals on an FHA case number.
They just changed those rules recently. And
But if it
there are times that we have to go ahead and release numbers, especially if you go to another mortgage company. There's a lot more involved with FHA.
Well, here's where my
You can get a second appraisal with that case number.
But here's my question. If it applies for 120 days and the appraiser never contacted me to schedule an appraisal, so I have no idea how he came up with that number, because he didn't get inside the property. So how did he appraise it, not get inside the property? And I can't see the appraisal.
So for
I
FHA,
dispute
her
it.
comment is how did the appraiser come up with that number because he never contacted me. For FHA, our scope of work includes an interior inspection. So the appraiser got in somehow, I don't know. In my area, my agents put on their contact agent to gain access. There's still a lot of multiple listing system and a lot of agents that are putting the seller's phone number directly
No,
on
it
there.
wasn't on there.
Well, I don't know, but they had to get in.
Yeah, well, and he was there. The seller was there, and he would have known if somebody came in his property.
Yeah, then we might have a whole issue.
Just remember this, all right? As real estate agents, are there really great real estate agents and really bad real estate agents? Are there really great appraisers and really bad appraisers? Are there really great loan officers and bad loan officers? No, there's no bad loan officer. They're all great. Just, you were wrong on that answer. Bottom line is, all of these things are flexible, and you got to get to know who you're working with, what professionals and everything.
Where will we find the repair requirements from the appraisal? What section?
Second page, or the addendum.
Out of 35 pages, you look for that. Remember, this is not a 300-hour course. This is 3 hours, so we're just going over some of the highlights. Let's go to the last page. Conditions and ratings definitions. Do you see that? That's where the C1, C2, C3 came from. C1, the improvements have been very recently constructed and not previously been occupied. So C1 seems to be pretty good, right? If we went down to C6, what do you think that might say?
203K.
Yeah, not so good, right? Q ratings are quality ratings. Q1 is better than Q6. Are you with me? All right, so put down your appraisals reports for a second. First of all the classes that I do, whether it's 203K, reverse mortgage. Next year I have 2 classes coming out in New York State. 2008 mortgage collapse. I got also how the primary and secondary market work. If you're in the New York area, the 5-borough area, come to my classes for free. We give them for free at the Bronx Board of Realtors, Brooklyn Board of Realtors, all over the place. So if you want to give me your business card, I'll put you on our mailing list. If you're from upstate, you probably don't want to come to the class too far. But at all my classes, I always have what I call subject matter experts with me, my loan officers, even though I'm licensed. Isn't it nice to hear from somebody else? If I'm doing a class on how we qualify a borrower or credit, I'll ask the loan officer, well, what would you do here? I want you guys to hear what they do every day. First of all, I want to thank you before the class ends. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know you could have went for another 25 hours, right? Would you say passionate? Would you say, right? Myself included. I love this business. You really want to learn what's going on. Now, we learned a few things. When I started out this morning, we heard a couple of things. Oh, I kind of think I know this. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pick a few people, and we're going to see what you guys learned today. We have a little bit of time. It's 11:36. So let's see what you guys learned. And then when it comes 12 o'clock, you guys can get right out of here. Well, I'll let you out maybe a couple minutes early. Hi, how are you? Hi. Tell the class one thing that you learned today about appraisals that you didn't know before you got here. The class, the paired analysis. One thing. No?
My mind is blown.
All right, no problem. You want me to come back to you? I'll come back to you. You'll tell us 2 things, all right? Hi, one thing.
That you could request an appraiser and the term geographically competent. I never heard that term before.
Absolutely. Very good. One thing that you learned today.
Suburban market, you're looking within 1 mile of the property.
Correct. And if somebody's industrial area, maybe you go the other way and they'll make a notation in that. Here we go. One thing that you learned today.
How to appreciate an appraiser and what they do.
So I think he wants to take you out to dinner tonight, ladies. How to appreciate, right? Do you really have a newfound respect and appreciation for what they do?
Tremendously.
Tremendously, right? It's amazing, right? Yeah. Show of hands. How many people really feel like, holy cow, I had no idea, and we only touched the tip of the iceberg of what they do. All right? And these are people that are on your side. They're not your enemies. So.
I always have a lot of respect for appraisers. Always did.
You married to an appraiser?
No.
No?
No, but I always did because you guys are the one that give us the final.
Not me. I'm a loan officer. That's the appraiser. Very good, right?
Sure.
Outstanding. One thing that you learned today.
That I have the right to be there when the appraiser's done.
You have the right to be there. Absolutely. Excellent. Follow me, sir. Hi, how are you?
I think you're going to give me the $1 back.
If I give you $5, will you stop asking for your $1 back? Okay. Well, one thing that you learned today.
That there is no sheet.
There is no sheet.
There is no value sheet.
There is no way?
Outstanding. There's no sheet that has all the stuff on it.
There's no
Good.
sheet.
Whoa. One thing that you learned today.
I learned more about loan to value and interest rates.
Ooh, loan to value. Hey, I know this sounds silly, but if you come to my class tonight, 2 to 5, or tomorrow night, 2 to 5, I go heavily into that. You're going to learn about loan to value, debt to income. I'm going to show you how we qualify a borrower, how we do their income, all that stuff. That's that class. Fair enough? All right, very good. Thank you. You want me to skip you?
You can skip me.
You want to tell us one thing you learned today?
I learned a lot, but I can't come up with it.
All right. I want you to point to somebody so I can pick on them. Anybody behind you.
Put me on the spot.
Ah, nice. Tell us one thing that you learned today.
Bracketing.
Bracketing. Excellent. Bracketing. Nice. One thing. Comps. Tell us about comps.
Yeah, it's not an exact science.
Say that again?
It's not an exact science.
It's not an exact science, right? But comparables, we have to find properties that are similar. So if you're selling a home that's